Melody destroys Martell as court rejects his petty demands for custody. Revenge Martell. Hall used to walk into a room like he owned it. Suits always crisp, confidence radiating off him, and an image of a picture-perfect family right by his side. But that image has crumbled into 1,000 messy headlines. And now he's not the man fans once admired. He's the guy on the courthouse steps, dodging accountability, lashing out on Instagram, and trying desperately to control a narrative that's slipping further away every time he opens his mouth. What's wild is how public it's all gotten. This isn't just reality TV drama anymore. This is real life unfolding in front of everyone. Custody hearings, psychological evaluations, accusations, social media warfare. And at the center of it all is a man obsessed with being seen as the victim, even when his own choices say otherwise. And let's be clear, this custody battle between Martell and Melody Shari, it's not about co-parenting or the best interest of the kids. It's about control, pure and simple. Melody has moved on. She's focused on building her career, raising her children with grace, and staying unbothered. But Martell seems stuck in the past, throwing public tantrums, filing court motions left and right, and digging his heels into a battle that looks more like revenge than fatherhood. Every move he makes feels performative. Like when he suddenly starts posting loving photos with his son Knox, the child he shares with Aaron Curry, right before a court date, or when he goes live late at night to rant about how he's the one being wronged without ever actually showing evidence to back it up. And those rants, they always seem to come just when something's not going his way. It's almost like he's trying to build a case through hashtags and angry captions instead of actual parenting. Meanwhile, Melody just shows up calm, composed, with her kids by her side, never needing to say much because her actions speak for themselves. But things took a darker turn when the court reportedly ordered psychological evaluation for both parents. Melody didn't blink. She complied without drama. Martell, on the other hand, he stalled. He pushed back. He acted like a whole idea was some personal attack. And that's when fans really started asking questions. Because if you're so confident in your ability to parent, why fear an evaluation that's meant to confirm that? Less, of course, there's something you don't want coming to light. This custody case has already dragged on for years. It's clear that Martell's not just trying to win, he's trying to punish. He's trying to paint Melody as unstable, too busy, too ambitious. Like being a successful woman somehow makes her a bad mother. But every time he does that, it backfires because viewers have watched Melody juggle business and motherhood with more strength and poise than most could manage. She shows up for school events, prioritizes the kids' emotional well-being, and never lets the chaos shake her focus. And then there's the other side of Martell's mess, the revenge piece situation. A whole different court drama that's shrouded in whispers and legal fog, but somehow keeps intersecting with the custody case. The fact that these two legal battles keep overlapping says a lot about Martell's state of mind. He's not separating his personal baggage from his role as a father. Instead, he's dragging everything into the courtroom with him, hoping that if he throws enough chaos at the wall, something will stick. But fans aren't stupid. They've been watching this unfold for years, and the consensus is loud and clear. Martell isn't fighting for love or fairness. He's fighting for ego, and he's losing badly. Aaron Curry's name keeps popping up, and not because she's trying to be in the spotlight, whether she likes it or not. Her connection to Martell is forever tied to this saga. She's the mother of his son, Knox. But what started as a messy affair has morphed into something even more chaotic, a co-parenting drama that spills onto social media like clockwork. And let's be honest, Ariane is no longer playing the supportive role she once did. She's called Martell out publicly on multiple occasions, accusing him of being manipulative, inconsistent, and downright selfish. That's coming from someone who once had his back no matter what. Now she's done protecting him. And that's silence. From her corner, it's starting to sound a lot like the truth catching up with Martell. Then there's Destiny Payton, Remember when she and Martell were inseparable? You couldn't watch an episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville without seeing them, side by side, hyping each other up. But Destiny's been real quiet lately. It's too quiet. Fans have noticed she's distanced Sturzel from Martell, and that silence is louder than any defense she could have offered. Maybe Destiny sees the writing on the wall. Maybe she realizes that standing next to Martell in this mess isn't worth the heat that comes with it. And let's not pretend Destiny doesn't have her own problems to deal with. The last thing she needs is to get caught up in someone else's downfall. Carlos King, the mastermind behind the show, has found himself in the crosshairs too. Viewers are beginning to wonder how much of this drama is being fueled by reality TV editing versus what's actually happening in real life. Carlos has been accused of turning real pain into plot lines, and that's not sitting well with a lot of people, especially when children are involved. It's one thing to document messy relationships or career struggles, but when custody battles and revenge lawsuits become part of the entertainment package, that's where people start drawing the line. Still, it's hard to ignore the fact that Martell keeps giving the cameras material. It's not like they're making this stuff up. He keeps walking into it, eyes wide open, and then acts shocked when the audience doesn't see him as the hero of the story. Meanwhile, Melody isn't just surviving, she's thriving. She's figured out how to live in the public eye without letting it consume her. That Tennessee trip with the kids, fans picked up on it immediately. It wasn't just a getaway. It was a statement, a reminder that Melody is doing what a mother should. It's providing joy, peace, and stability, even when everything else is falling apart. She's not online ranting or dragging people into fights. She's showing her kids that love looks like consistency, not chaos. And that's why public opinion keeps shifting in her favor. People air watching. They see who's fighting dirty and who's staying focused. They see who's reacting emotionally and who's protecting their peace. And more importantly, they see which parent is actually showing up for the children, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, with maturity. Martell might think he's proving a point by being loud, dramatic, and confrontational. But all it's doing is making it harder for people to believe he's genuinely thinking about the kids. Every court motion, every rant, every Instagram post feels like a move in a personal vendetta, not a father's love. And the courts, they don't care about social media clout. They care about who's stable, who's present, who's doing the work. And Martell's track record lately is raising way more questions than it's answering. Martell's biggest downfall isn't the drama, the custody battle, or even the infidelity. It's his refusal to evolve. He's still operating like the Mon who once had it all without realizing that version of himself no longer exists. The House of Cards collapsed a long time ago, but he's too focused on appearances to see it. And that obsession with controlling the narrative, it's exactly what's keeping him stuck. You can't build a new life while clinging to an old lie. The irony is Martell could have had a redemption arc. People love a comeback story. If he had taken responsibility, co-parented with maturity, and focused on being a good father instead of a bitter ex, fans might have rallied behind him. Instead, he weaponized every opportunity for healing and turned it into another stage to perform. He tries to present himself as the wounded man who lost everything. But what people really see is someone who gambled away a solid family and is now throwing tantrums because the consequences hurt. The children are the real victims in this mess. They didn't ask to be part of a televised breakup. They didn't ask for court documents to be dissected online or for their parents' drama to become meme material. But that's the reality they live in now. And while Melody is doing everything she can to shield them, Martell's actions often do the opposite. He's so fixated on proving a point that he forgets the cameras are always rolling, even when they're not on a soundstage. And let's talk about Knox. His relationship with Martell is being put on display in a way that feels less like fatherhood and more like damage control. Martell showcases him as proof of his devotion, but Yvonne Thought has become part of the narrative war. It's like he's using one child to fill the emotional void left by the ones he's battling for. And that's not fair to Knox either. Children aren't props. They're not evidence in a trial. They're not tools to win public favor. Legal insiders have said that judges are increasingly paying attention to what's posted online, especially when it involves high-conflict custody cases. Martell's social media strategy might be scoring him likes, but it's likely hurting his credibility in court. You can't scream about wanting peace while publicly bashing the mother of your kids. You can't demand more custody while being combative in front of the judge. Actions speak louder than rants, and right now Martell's actions are painting a picture of instability and ego-driven chaos. Melody, for her part, isn't out here pretending to be perfect, but she's consistent.